Elvin-chan, witamy kolegę. Mam nawet małą Shibuya Scramble opowieść. Gadałem sobie wczoraj o gierce z typierą z jednego Discorda. No tam się był temat na Subiego, czyli aktora pana Yanagishity, tam zrobimy już od gierki, 2 słowa zamieniamy. No i tam mówię, że... Okej, czekam. Okej, dziękuję za info. Faktycznie tam na paseczku ona wyszła głośno. Więc tak, gadam sobie tam z typiarą wczoraj parę słów o gierce, no i tam mówię, że pan Janek tam moja ulubiona postać boczna, ale mój największy husbanda to jestem jednak pan Minorikawa z protagonistów. Ja typiara, i jaka to jest zupełnie inna meta niż G9, powiedziała, że jej ulubioną główną postacią Dr. Kenji Osawa. No i z jednej strony tak kind of rozumiem, że Kenji ma trochę analogiczny problem co Minorikawa, że pierwsza godzina jest trochę przeklęta, bo tylko siedzi się i słuchasz pierdolenia o Resident Evil zbrodniach i metaplocie. I przez to, że jest trochę retrospektywny ten plotline, to trochę jest takie poczucie, że nic się nie dzieje. Ale dalej idąc, powiedzmy się zaczynają interakcje z japońskim Colombo, więc jest lepiej. Ale mimo wszystko, czy tak lepiej, żeby jednak claimować ulubioną postać? Nie wiem, beczku, nie wiem. Nie. To jest prawda. Moje rating jest to takie, że Minorikawa jest mój ulubiony, ale czy jest close second, a czy tylko traci punkty o to, że... A to nawet może jeszcze nie teraz, a może dalej trochę będziemy grali, ale trochę przez ten romansowanie z Hitomi jest trochę takie kręcenie się w kółka, aż tylko biegają po mieście i se gadają i biegają, przychodzi zabójca i biegają i tak trochę w kółko. Minorikawa miał przeklętą pierwszą godzinę, gdzie były same loki na zupełne intro, ale potem zaczyna wskazywać ludzi paluchem i jest na wszystkich odpalony, że tak powiem, cylindrach. No, Osawa jest w konkurencji o najgorszą postać. Policjant Imo jest perfekcyjnie average. W sensie Kano jest dla mnie takim bardziej delivery vehiclem intrygi policyjnej niż bardziej samą postacią. A z Kotkiem jest tak, że dla mnie Kotek jest też average, ale tutaj wyjaśnię, że jako postać Tama jest average, ale ten plotline jest fajny, tylko że jakby Tama jest enablerem najlepszego supporting castu, właśnie Chiri, Yanagishite i tak dalej. Ja trochę egzystuję, żeby im dać kamerę, więc dlatego nie mogę jej samej aż tak wysoko ocenić. Ale niemniej. Póki czekamy na tego słynnego kogokolwiek innego, to już może zawczasu zacznę od najważniejszego pytania, czyli od kogo zaczniemy kolejną godzinę. W sumie wielki reset. Tama musi sprzedać Burning Hammera bez Burning Hammera. Shinekano zaczyna się wozić z CIA i Gachadem, co ma swój urok. Oj, rozumiem. Rozumiem, też na dniach mi się mocno nic nie chciało. Zwłaszcza wieczorami, a w ciągu dnia jest tak, że nie chce mi się nic z tego, co muszę, powinienem robić, ale jestem w ADHD trybie mocnym z zrobieniem samochód RPGa, który niestety przez tłumaczenie książki i inne rzeczy długą obsługę zaliczył, ale no mam teraz chwilę, żeby actually tą zaawansowaną BT09 docisnąć i trochę to robię za prawdziwej roboty, a niedługo zaczną moje odległe terminy na robocie, przez które sobie na to mogę pozwolić. Stać się krótkimi terminami, będzie nieprzyjemnie, ale będę się martwił. Niemniej, już co mieliśmy nasłuchać, słuchaliśmy i dla prawdziwych truskuli tylko do przygody Tamy. Czy umiem włączać grę wideo? Okej, chyba umiem. Więc cyk, w samo popołudnie, godzina 13. Pora sprzedać trochę Burning Hammera. Bottles of Burning Hammer litter the pavement. shattered into tiny bits of glass. Even if the recycling guy was really careless with the boxes, it shouldn't have caused this much of a mess. It looks like someone came along and actually threw them all over the place. The heck with this thing! I toss away the miracle stone, which has clearly brought me only bad luck. Oj, nie wiem, Tama, to jednak okazał się być poważny artefakt, więc... możemy na siebie sprowadzić potężną klątwę. Can't have a product demo without a product. Which in turn means I won't be getting paid for this whole fiasco. Okay, we can do this. We can figure something out. Myślę, że ten kryształ po prostu trzeba naładować. Już mieli prawdziwych, dobrych przyjaciół, na których można polegać, żeby z nimi naładować kryształ. I tried to give myself a pep talk, but I heard the doubt in my own voice. I tried to brainstorm anyway. Finding inspiration is like trying to squeeze blood from a stone. I rack my mind for the best course of action, and at long last, I arrive at a conclusion. No i właśnie. Czy brak Burning Hammera nie jest aż tak dużym problemem dla sprzedaży Burning Hammera dla kogoś przedsiębiorczego? Czy jednak musimy znaleźć sobie jakby lepszy biznesplan, bo potrzebujemy tych 200 000 jenów? Okej, a zobaczmy. Somehow or another, I'm going to have to sell some Burning Hammer. The flyers have already been handed out. People have come to the demo expecting to get Burning Hammer. I might have to put it into some new bottles and possibly water it down some, but getting this stuff sold is my only option. My eyes alight on one of the cardboard boxes, and I notice an odd mark that's stamped on it. Wait a sec. I've seen this before. I recall something Chiri said earlier. This is the sort of thing they'd sell in the 100 yen shops or something. The mark on the box is the same one I saw at the shop that's selling the necklace. That's it! I can see if there's more at the knick-knack shop. No, przede wszystkim Burning Hammer nie będzie wtedy dawał zaworu do mocy i bordował ludzi. Guided by this ray of hope, I head for the knick-knack shop as fast as I can run. Ray, glimmer, a sliver, the ever-dwindling light in the distance. Point is, there's not much. Bonk! As soon as I reach the main road, I crash right into someone. It's Chiri! Oh, hi! You find it? She asks. She makes it sound like it's not really her problem. Not yet, but I think we can stock up at the 100 yen shop. The words are hard to get out when I'm panting, as hard as I am. For now, just stay calm and go let the boss know. Got it. Leave it to me. Chiri nods, and I break back into a run. I'm practically praying as I rush into the knick-knack shop, where I immediately spot the cardboard boxes I saw earlier, still stacked up. Yes, I'm in luck. I dive into one of the boxes to check what's inside. It's packed with tiny bottles. There's no mistaking the noxious red liquid inside. That's Burning Hammer, alright. There's 50 boxes. There's 50 bottles per box. There are 4 boxes total. Assuming each bottle is 100 yen, including tax, I can buy the whole lot with the 20,000 I've got in my wallet. O, Carlos, witamy. Nie chcę skłamać, ale jest bardzo duża szansa, że wpadniesz na UFC Pride cameo. Więc tak szybko podsumowując te 5 minut, Tama, minimum wage worker z amnezją, uwięziona w stroju kotka maskotki, z którego nie może uciec. Próbuje, Szemrenu panuje na gasicie sprzedać napoje odchudzające Burning Hammer, które są generalnie omega ostrym chili oil napojem. Z pitchem takim, że jak go wypijesz, to jest tak gorąco, że się spocisz i stracisz kilogramy. Problem jest taki, że wszystkie butelki stały rozjebane i bez butelek nie możemy sprzedać butelek. Więc pobiegliśmy do sklepu, wszystko za 100 jenów, kupić z tego chła, możemy móc go sprzedać. No i powiem tak, jestem pretty sure, bo gram w tą grę wcześniej, że UFC Pride cameo jest związane ze sceną w tym... związaną z tym sklepem 100 jenów i Tamą. Więc jesteśmy już w tym plotline'ie, ale jakby nie obiecam, czy dzisiaj zdążymy, czy to jest jeszcze w tym rozdziale 314, czy już 14-15, ale w tym plotline'ie już, w tym sklepie będzie cameo z Pride. That way, if we sell all 200 bottles, he'll be able to pay back his debts no problem. Whoa! What's the deal with you? The sales clerk's eyes go wide when he sees my getup. This stuff. I'd like your entire stock. I point at the burning hammer, and the clerk makes an awkward face. I'm afraid that's already been sold. What? You mean like all of it? Nobody in their right mind could possibly want all of this. Yes, all of it, I'm afraid. Well, I'm not going to roll over that easily. Whether I earn that extra 20,000 or not hinges on whether I can get this stuff. Please, you've got to help me out. I'm afraid it's out of my hands. And could you get in touch with the buyer? Tell them I'm willing to negotiate. I suppose that wouldn't be an issue, but actually, would you mind waiting for just a moment? She said she'd be by ASAP. After 5 minutes of waiting, the buyer still hasn't shown up. I don't think she's coming, I say. That's odd, the sales clerk murmurs. She said on the phone she'd come by just after 1 o'clock to pick him up. I really need this right away. I understand that, but please, it's out of my hands. By now, the sales demo has already started. If I come back empty-handed, what was the point of all this effort? Gimme. I've already said I can't do that. Gimme! Would you please wait a moment? Why did I spend all that time trying to hand out samples? Why did I put this stupid costume on? Why did I miss out on lunch? Why? What was it all for? Heck! Look over there! It's the Chupacabra! Huh? Yoink! Seizing the moment, I snatch up the box of burning hammer and make a run for it. Hey! Hold it right there, miss! The sales clerk is quick to bar my path. Whoosh! I barrel my way right past him. W ogóle od razu podam lore, że Tama posiada zaawansowane kung fu skills i rozjebała na macie panie Nagishite bez problemu oraz rozpędziła radioaktywnego karalucha, który one hit zabił kobietę w złym timeline'ie. I barrel my way right past him. I bump him harder than intended as I race by. He loses his balance and goes crashing through the display case at the front of his shop. At the same time, I hear something else topple over with a thud and a gargle. Also, czy to casualowy kanister benzyny w sklepie wszystko ze 100 jenów? No pewnie diesel. Ołowiowa jakaś. Some sort of liquid begins to gush from a red polyethylene container. Uh-oh! The sales clerk's eyes go wide. His stare fixed on something on the sidewalk nearby. It's a cigarette. No trochę rip. The burning butt ignites the liquid in a sudden, massive blaze. And now for today's news. Shortly after 1 o'clock this afternoon, there's an explosion at a variety store in Udagawacho in Shibuya, the cause of which remains unknown. Eyewitnesses report seeing an individual wearing a full-body cat costume fleeing the scene in the aftermath of the explosion. Police consider this individual a person of interest and have not ruled out the possibility that this bombing was a terrorist act. Several hours after the incident, the cat remains at large. No chyba Burning Hammer za bardzo dał popalić i musieliśmy uciekać z kraju. Zamiast kupić za 20 000 jenów bransoletki, których potrzebujemy. Pozostaje pytanie, kto z pozostałych bohaterów ma szansę zblokować nam dalej storyline Tamy, którego wszyscy łakniemy. Jeszcze dla Carlosa, bo on tak od środka zna takie szybkie podsumowanie. Po kolei, Shinya Kano. Umiarkowanie udaczny rookie cop w środku spierdolonej akcji przekazania okupu, w której siostra porwana, przekuzująca okup też została porwana przez kogoś innego. I trochę nieudolnie śledzi międzynarodowy syndykat przestępczy. Also w środku akcji policyjnej jego teść bardzo próbuje zerwać jego zaręczyny. Ale właśnie jakby został bodycopem jakiegoś CIA gigachad agenta, więc trochę pójdzie plot. Achiendo to vigilante gangster, który chwilowo porwał dziewczynę Hitomi w dobrej wierze, że tak powiem, żeby jej pomóc. A czy generalnie chodzi po ukochanej dzielnicy Shibuya i czyści ją ze śmieci. Głównie dosłownie, czasem figuratywnie. Dobry chłopak, około 2 komórek mózgowych ma dom. Jego na mnie widziałeś. To jest bardzo Yakuza gameplay. Combat Encounter co dwa skrzyżowania. No, pan Minorikawa, już go widziałeś. Niestraszony detektyw, który musi w ciągu jednej doby skompletować numer tabloidu, żeby jego redaktor z długiej wdzięczności nie został zabity przez Yakuzę albo sam się nie powiesił przez długi. I znany wirusolog Kenji Osawa, którego obie córki zostały chwilowo porwane przez 2 różnych ludzi, który jest w trakcie intrygi bycia szantażowanym za jakieś Resident Evil zbrodnie w Afryce jego firmy. I gamerki trochę żygały jego plotem, ale teraz jest trochę mniej intrygi, a więcej interakcji z japońskim Colombo. Więc kogo z tych 4 chcemy zobaczyć? Ewentualnie kto z tej 4 ma największą szansę odblokować nam dalej Tamę? Problem z Tamą jest taki, że coś musiało zatrzymać właścicielkę całej skrzynki Burning Hammerów. Ale okej. Alci dobra mordeczka, fan favorite i Carlos też nie widział. Poza poprawianiem jednego wyboru. Więc akurat. Tak jeszcze słowem wstępu. Jak mówiłem w trakcie spierdolenia akcji policyjnej, Archie porwał dziewczynę przekazującą okup, bo to była zagrożona, trochę była siara. I trochę uciekają przed zabójcą. Zabójca, jak widać, ma spluwę, co komplikuje sprawy. Ma też kulewą nogę, przez co mogą mu uciekać. Tylko że z jakichś powodów, nie do końca wyjaśnionych, podejrzewa się jakiś tracker, co mniej więcej 40 minut ich znajduje. A w międzyczasie są jakuzowe przygody i niezdolne próby zaromansowania żony Hitomi. W tym wypadku stali zdybani w takim tam zaułku. The man with the cane crooked his finger on the trigger. I okazało się też bardzo pod sam koniec, że ten typ zna imię Achiego, jakby first time seeing him, i jakby przyznał, że on chce zastrzelić Hitomi i to jest dla dobra wszystkich. Achi stepped in front of Hitomi, shielding her with his body. If you want to shoot her, you have to shoot me too. Suddenly, the assassin's head jerked forward. He pitched face first onto the pavement and lay still, revealing a foreign man standing behind him. To jest zły gaijin terrorysta. Actual bad hombre. Więc trochę z deszczu pod rydne. In one hand, the stranger clutched a metal pipe. I to jest ten gość, który jakby brał okup i mówił tam, kontaktu się z policją, starty taty. Czyli jakby ten, kto jest odpowiedzialny za porwanie siostry Hitomi, Mari. Hitomi, Achi asked. You know that guy? Hitomi's eyes went wide. That's the man from the Scramble. The one who told me to go to the van. Wait, one of the kidnappers? Why would he help us? I'm not sure. The newcomer fixed his eyes on Achi. Hey man, Achi approached the stranger. I'm not sure what's going on here, but thanks for the assist. Whoa! The man took a sudden swing with his pipe. Achi barely managed to dodge out of the way. What the hell? Once again, Achi made sure Hitomi was safely behind him. Bardzo szanuję tą amatorską gardę Hitomi. I guess I gotta let my fists do the talking. Achi quickly adopted a fighting stance. Be careful, Hitomi warned, her voice trembling. Don't worry, it's just a pipe. I'll just snatch it away from him and make him tell us where your sister is. Achi judged the distance between them carefully as he turned his opponent down. The metal pipe gave this thug considerable reach. One solid hit from that thing, and Achi wouldn't stand a chance. He needed to end this in one punch. The crook sized him up for a few moments, then lunged forward to attack. Now! Achi sidestepped to avoid the incoming blow, then delivered a vicious left hook to his adversary's jaw. The man went down hard. No chłop ma futsis, to mu trzeba powiedzieć. Achi gazed at his fallen foe, flexing his knuckles. The thing about guys who bring weapons to fights is they always let themselves get too cocky. He looked the guy over. The man had a tattoo peeking from one of his ratty sleeves. Czy tatuaż skill? Bo jest to trochę ironiczne w zaistniałych okolicznościach. Come on, buddy. You can't clock out just yet, Achi said. Get up. I've got a few questions for you. He knelt down to grab the man by his collar. Halfway to his feet, the man pulled a gun from his breast pocket. Whoa! Didn't know you were packing heat. Achi took a quick step backward. The man's eyes brimmed with rage. He looked ready to pull the trigger at any moment, but he didn't get the chance. The man with the cane had regained consciousness. Back on his feet, he trained his own gun on the foreigner. The foreigner quickly shifted his attention to the other gunman. Oh no you don't! Achi darted forward and kicked the kidnapper in the hand as hard as he could. The gun went flying from his grasp. With a low snarl, the man took up the metal pipe again. No jakby nie patrzeć, jest tutaj więcej scen przemocy bardziej zaawansowanej sceny przemocy niż zarówno w całym Disco Elysium oraz całym Racing Lagoon razem wzięty. Rather than go for Achi, however, he charged the man with the cane. What the? Achi watched in an astonishment as the two men grappled. Now's our chance! Grabbing Hitami by the hand, Achi broke into a run. They ran for a long time, finally stopping to rest in a quiet municipal park. As they sat catching their breath, Achi sensed a new tension in Hitami. She hadn't said a word since their latest escape. She has to die, Achi. It's for your own good. In his mind, Achi replayed what the man with the cane had said. So, Hitami... Achi hesitated. About what happened back there. Yeah? She sounded like she'd been far gone in her own thoughts. You gotta believe me, I have no idea who that guy was. Never seen him before in my life. He must have been saying that stuff to confuse us, to trip us up. Yeah? Hitami said again. Is that what's been bothering you? Huh? Now it was Achi's turn to get monosyllabic. Well, Achi, you're kind of famous around Shibuya, right? I don't know about that. Way back when, he'd been the leader of SOS, Status of Shibuya. Nowadays, he was just some guy who picked up trash. That was nothing to brag about. When someone's famous, it's not unusual for someone else to recognize them and know their name. So yeah, I was surprised back there, but no matter what that man may have said, I trust you. I mean, look at how many times you've put yourself in danger to protect me. Hitami sounded pretty resolute. Achi was glad that she believed him, but that raised another question. So then, how come you've been so quiet? I've just been thinking about things. Like, what that man from the Scramble might be after. It was true that his actions didn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, he seemed more interested in taking out the man with the cane than going after you. Maybe there's a blood between them. Or maybe there was a case of mistaken identity. Jeden koleś, Gaijin, przegłosowanie numerkami, teraz jest też Carlos, więc lepiej, że tak powiem, oficjalnie w polu. Gaijin jest odpowiedzialny za porwanie faktyczne siostry Marii i to jest konferent for jakiś większy syndykat przestępczy, robiąc jakiś metaplot. Typ z Lasko zdaje się być jakąś trzecią stroną, który jakby tak wparował w połowie akcji próbuje rozwalić Hitomi. Ale też się z kolegami zgadzam. Jakby to jakby zakładanie mistaken identity. O, witamy Winroli Kraba. Zakładanie mistaken identity to jest taki poroniony pomysł, który tylko Achi by wymyślił. Czy to japoński dating simulator? Wiesz co, wyobraź sobie japoński dating simulator, tylko zamiast chodzić na randkę, symulujesz bycie w sidequestie Yakuzy. Chociaż actually plotline Achiego to jest dating simulator except w sidequestie Yakuzy. Maybe there's blood between them. Achi let out a little chuckle. If we're lucky, maybe they'll take each other out for us. He felt a rush of relief, reassured that Hitami didn't doubt his motives. Also, jeśli, że tak powiem, wbijasz w połowie nie wiedząc co się dzieje, to się nie martw, bo jest tutaj 5 osobnych storyline'ów, które się przeplatają, między którymi skaczemy, jest trochę chaos, więc jakby jest wajt enjoyować po prostu ride tak się rzeczy dzieją. Duże punkty to tylko, że jesteśmy w trakcie intrygi kidnappingowej oraz potrzebujemy sprzedać dużo napojów do odchudzania. To wszystko, co musisz wiedzieć. Regardless, though, we have to track down that blue van. The sound of a child's cry came from behind them. Turning to look, they saw the kidnapper rushing towards them. He had knocked over a little girl who was in his way. Córka redaktora Minorika. No rest for the weary, Achi sighed. Yet again, he and Hitomi sprinted away. Tak, ale właśnie Achi żyje naprawdę w wieku za uniwersum, które też częścią bycia w wieku z uniwersum polega na tym, że nie możesz przejść przez ulicę bez 3 combat encounterów. Do you think he took out the guy with the cane? Hitomi's words came between panting coughs. Maybe. Achi glanced back at their pursuer. What? There was someone else with him. No, they were being chased down by 2 foreigners. I like this better when we were just running from one guy with a cane. In a one-on-one fight, Achi was confident he could keep Hitomi safe. One-on-two though, that was a different story. One guy might get a hold of her, while he was facing off against the other. He had to make sure they lost these creeps, no matter what. No, koledzy, coś nie mamy dzisiaj farta i wybieramy plotliny, które są wcześniej locked. Więc tak, z jednej strony, żeby sprzedawać Burning Hammer jako Tama, potrzebujemy coś zmienić w timeline'ie. Żeby kontynuować Achiego, musimy znaleźć kogoś, kto wspomni w tekście o referencji do Achiego, że był Hyperlink. Więc moi drodzy, i Winroli, ty jak tak bardziej możesz głosować, to jakby enjoy the ride. Możemy dalej iść w intrygę policyjną. O, może z gangsterami się zmieni. Możemy po prostu dalej próbować pisać gazetę i wpadać na różne dziwne kantery. Minorikawa jest trochę jakby random encounter generatorem, albo zobaczyć, gdzie duży metaplot zabierze nas z Kenji Osao. O, to był bait, to był bait, że go kliknąłem. To był bait, nie zasługujesz. Nie zasługujesz. Niestety tu przepraszam, ale czasami to tabowanie dziwnie działa. O, jak właśnie widać, to tak, czy ta gra widzi taba, czy nie. Spokojnie, Winroli może nie drogi, ale pełnowartościowy. A do tego możesz spokojnie sobie zakliknąć. Więc tak, czy jedziemy z Kano na mocy jednego głosu, czy Carlosowego? Czy ktoś chce się wtrącić? No, nie, to nie. Czas zobaczyć, co u Kano. Zwłaszcza, że zaczął się u niego CIA plot. Nawet... O, teraz to kurde się zrobiło. Ale okej. Kto był 3? Minorikawa. Winroli masz... Proszę, specjalnie newcomer special dla ciebie. Ważony głos. Gdzie policja? No byłaby policja, ale... Winroli stwierdził, że na psach świata nie sprzeda. I miał szczęście zagłosować na moją ulubioną postać, więc... pana Minorikałę pędzącego na prezentację Burning Hammera. Co po pierwsze, Sminglafy powinno się podobać, po drugie, jak przypominam, problem jest taki, że na Sales demo Burning Hammera nie ma Burning Hammera, bo Archie to wszystko potłukł na głowie asasyna. Więc... Right, left. O, moment. Tutaj, o proszę, dla też Widreliego możemy zrobić szybkie summary. Co się działo przez ostatnią godzinę, ale to chyba nie jest. To chyba nie jest bardzo useful summary, bo jest troszeczkę zbyt ostatnio rozdziałowe. W każdym razie musimy bardzo szybko napisać gazetę w ciągu jednej doby, żeby nasz redaktor się nie powiesił lub nie został zabity przez jakuziarzy. Right, left. Minorikawa sprinted down center guy, dodging between oncoming pedestrians. Out of my way. Can't you people see I'm in a hurry? He stole a glimpse at his watch as he ran. It was just after 1 o'clock. The Burning Hammer sales demo would be getting underway any moment now. He could probably get an interview, even if he showed up late. Still, he wanted to get to the venue ASAP, to get a feel for things before they got started. The best time to scope out an event was before it started and after it ended. This was something he'd learned from Toyama. Toyama to jest ten nasz łysy redaktor. Everything he knew about journalism, the publisher had taught him. It had been a combative education, Minorikawa learning despite himself, as the two men constantly butted heads. Oh, give me a break! What's wrong with my article? Minorikawa shouted. His voice was loud enough to carry throughout the editing department. Shut up! I told you to rewrite it, so rewrite it! Toyama sticking to his guns. Minorikawa recalled the scene from the days when the two men had worked at the same newspaper, and Toyama was his boss. What's wrong with it? Show me what's wrong. All of it! How can it be all of it? Co-workers stared, keeping their distance as the pair screamed themselves red in the face. His arguments had become a regular occurrence, regular enough that everyone had learned not to try to intervene. I poured my heart and soul into this piece. Go back and read it again. I could read it over and over, and I'd still be the same thing. A load of self-important claptrap. Now go calm down and write me a more neutral piece. Neutral, making neither of two opposing sides. The media typically seeks to adopt a neutral stance in reporting the news. Frequently, however, biased reporting still results in one-sided thinking taking hold amongst the general public. In the end, it is up to the individual to make an objective assessment of any news events. Palu w mordę i but na biurku. To jest też taki Minorikawa special. Calm down? You must be joking. I write what I feel in my heart. That's the one thing I refuse to back down on. Then it's the one thing that'll keep getting your copy rejected. Aren't you the one who told me to be bold and daring with my writing? Yeah, I did. But I don't remember telling you to write me garbage. By now Minorikawa and Toyama were practically at each other's throats. Tak kawę zamawiał, tak napastował ludzi na ulicy. Taki chłop ma sposób bycia. Still, despite these almost daily shouting matches, Minorikawa never resented Toyama. Not really. How could he write a piece in a way that would shut Toyama up? Trying to figure that out was how he had developed his skills as a reporter. Up until he quit his position at the newspaper to start his own publishing company, Toyama had been a stubborn old man in the finest sense of the term. A stubborn old man, now a dying breed in Japan. The sort would be inclined to use knuckles before words to remedy a child's bad behavior. Inflexible, but still emotionally brittle. Their signature move is to drive a wayward kid out of the house with the exclamation, "You fool! You're no son of mine! I disown you!" Only to wait a while, go find the son who's crying down by the dry riverbed, and calmly murmur, "Come on, your supper is getting cold." then, in order to keep his company afloat, at some point he had abandoned all his ideals and principles. It was disgraceful. Just disgraceful. Thinking about it made Minorikawa's blood boil. It rankled him to know that such a pathetic remnant of a man had been such an influence on him. He reminded himself once again that he needed to wrap up his current job as soon as possible. By now, Minorikawa was getting close to the demo site. He increased his speed. He wound up barreling right into someone who was walking down into a knick-knack shop. A newly opened general variety store. The place is primarily a second-hand shop, with passers inside proclaiming things like "We'll take what you don't need" and "We buy computers. Top prices." Czekaj, Carlos, czekaj sekundę, wiem, że masz jedzenie? Ale czekaj sekundę. It was a girl about high school age. Bo chyba teraz będzie Pride cameo. She jumped to her feet and snatched Minorikawa by the collar. "Hey, watch where we're going," she snapped. Her upper body strength was impressive, to say the least. The chokehold she had on his neck made it almost impossible for him to breathe. He had to do something fast. O, okej, face reveal jeszcze czeka, ale wydaje mi się, że to jest właśnie Pride cameo. W każdym razie. W jaki sposób? Czy przepraszamy, żeby nie umrzeć od dosłownie zawodniczki UFC Pride mającej cameo w tej grze jako Minorikawa? Czy jednak bierzemy asertywne podejście, bo jesteśmy pierdolonym Minorikawą? No to przypominam, głosujemy z numerkami. Że tak powiem, oficjalne. Tutaj udokumentowane. Święto demokracji było. Okej. Dzisiaj wybraliśmy przemoc. Take this! He drove a punch right in the girl's flank. Jep! Idealnie, Carlos. Przegapił, nie pamiętam jak się dziewczyna nazywała, ale gdzieś potem będzie na pewno name drop. A jak nie, to zapraszam do przeglądania zdjęć. To jest actual zawodniczka Pride, wsadzona jako copyright free cameo jako NPC. To his amazement, the girl shrugged off the blow, as if it were nothing, her grip on his collar tightening further. Uh-huh. You wanna throw it down, huh? She sneered. Shifting position suddenly, she snatched Minorikawa by the hair and dragged him out into the road. Before he could process the trouble he was in, it was already too late. He cowered away from her, shielding his face with his arms, only to feel the impact of a rain of punches and kicks on his exposed back and sides. Pain shot through his body, as each blow landed with a perversely satisfying thump. And then, the pain continued to intensify. Oh crap, I'm going to die here, aren't I? Never thought my life would end so soon. Huh? His assailant paused suddenly. Wait, don't I know you? He stared down into his face. She stared down into his face. Hey, you're Mr. Minorikawa! Shocked to hear his own name, Minorikawa peered up at the girl. Miku? Oh my god! It's Miku! Yeah! Wow! So you do remember me! Her tone was bubbly, as if the beating she'd been dishing was all fun and games. Sorry, I didn't realize it was you. She held out a hand to help Minorikawa back to his feet. Wow, how long's it been? She asked. About 5 years, I think, she said cautiously. Yeah, still doing your bonsai stuff? She replied. I gave that up. Miku had been Japan's bonsai champion back when she was in middle school. One day, local delinquents had vandalized dozens of Miku's bonsai pieces. Minorikawa had met her when he interviewed her about the incident. I want to get strong, she had said. I want to be able to beat those guys up. And so, Minorikawa had introduced Miku to an acquaintance of his who ran a martial arts dojo. Man, you sure have gotten strong, Minorikawa said. Well, that's the sort of gal I am. Miku handed him a flyer. It read, Ladies Mixed Martial Arts Pub Bride. Present this flyer for a free drink. It's a place where you can watch girls fight in the ring while you have some drinks, Miku said. That sounds pretty fun, actually. Minorikawa could feel himself being pulled in by all the wrong directions by the prospect. You should come see one of my matches sometime. I'm the current champion there. Miku beamed with pride. Wait, you're the champion? Well, he'd seen firsthand how strong she was. Miku nodded. What are you up to now? She asked. Working? Yeah, running around, trying to get interviews. Right now I'm heading to... what was it again? The Nakane building. That's it. Oops, sorry. Teamed with UFC Pride. Oh, I can take you there, she said. I can use the exercise. Now, if you'll beg my pardon. Miku casually hefted Minorikawa up onto her back and broke into a jog. Fast travel option unlocked. Biorąc pod uwagę, że Minorikawa został też jakby dobrym kumplem King Kong taksówkarza jako pierwszy fast travel option i jeżdżenie na barana na czempionie Bride jako drugi fast travel option. Zdecydowanie mobility based character. Before long, they arrived at the Nakane building. Minorikawa thanked Miku as she set him down onto the sidewalk, and the two parted ways. At long last, he arrived at the Nakane building, where the event was being held. The wall by the elevator was plastered with posters about Burning Hammer. Get it or regret it. As seen in magazines. 100% weight loss guaranteed. This is blatantly false advertising. The messaging was kind of a mess. It felt like they had been thrown together at the last minute. Minorikawa avoided the elevator in favor of the stairs, rushing up to the event site on the 3rd floor. Emerging from the stairwell, he saw more posters on the way, pointing the way to the sales demo. He followed the arrows to a room deeper within the building. Opening the door, he saw about 50 chairs, most of them occupied by female attendees. There was a stage set up at the far end of the room, but nobody was on it. It appeared that the event had yet to begin. Minorikawa quickly looked over the crowd. Roughly half of the women were somewhat elderly. All of them looked like they could stand to lose some weight. And for some of them, at least, that ship had surely sailed some time ago. The crowd gazed at the stage with rapt anticipation. A beverage that allowed you to eat plenty and still lose weight was definitely an appetizing proposition. Could something like that really exist, though? Oh well. Minorikawa was just going to have to wait and see. He did his best to get his mind into journalism mode. Time passed, but the demo didn't start. The audience began grumbling in frustration. Then, a heavy-set young woman took the stage and gave a little bow. It was the girl from the cafe, the one with the amazing appetite. The audience broke into applause, their patience finally rewarded. But as everyone leaned forward expectantly, the girl on the stage began performing magic tricks. She twiddled a silk hat and pulled a bunch of flowers from inside it. Sparse applause rose up from the crowd. The young woman immediately went on to perform another trick, and then another. Ta-da! The coin in her hand became 3 coins as she spoke her magic words. She's not very good at this, Minarikawa thought. Though whether she was good or bad wasn't really the issue. He had a tight schedule to keep. This was no time to stand around watching silly sleight of hand antics. Scanning the room, he spotted a man who looked like he was probably in charge. Minarikawa headed over to him. Hey, you the one running this thing? Well, yes? When's the actual sales demo going to start? Soon. Very soon. Yeah. In how many minutes? You know, soon. I asked for a number. Just, soon. Real soon. This was getting him nowhere. 3 minutes, Minarikawa declared. He held three fingers to emphasize his point. If this thing doesn't start in 3 minutes, if it doesn't start, then what? Okej, panowie, ja nie będę ukrywał. Widzę tu obvious. O, przepraszam, bo jednej opcji nie było. O. Wydaje mi się, że jedna opcja wydaje się być takim trochę jakby no-brainerem. Odszedł do Minarikawy, więc uczynię honory. Zagłosuję na I'm going to start a ruckus, ale oczywiście zostawiam wam te decyzje. Po prostu jestem stronniczy. To nie, to nie jest jakby tego, gdzie pamiętam. Nie zapomniałem, co się działo, ale no po prostu taki no-brainer się tutaj wydaje, że nie wiedziałem, czy w ogóle jest po co otwierać pole. I'm going to start a ruckus. He kept his voice firm, his words short and clipped. Hey now, no need for that, sir. Just settle down. Who doesn't like a silly little magic show now and then? You've got 2 minutes. Hey, minute can't have passed already. 1 minute. Whoa! Just what kind of watch you got there? Tell me why the demo isn't starting. You know, no real reason, really. The man was getting seriously flustered. I wanted folks to get to see a little magic show first. Nope, try again. 30 seconds left. Okay, alright. What happened is, the required merchandise, What happened to the merchandise? Minarikawa demanded. He gave the guy a dagger stare. Well, you know, it's just, Time's up. What? The man's face went pale. Kolejny cliffhanger. Biorąc pod uwagę, że nie odblokowaliśmy niczego nowego, zostaje nam Kano i Osawa. Zarządzę, że idziemy do Kano. Po części tego, że taki miał być pierwotny głos ostatnim razem, ale po drugie i tak wiem, że Smiglew nigdy mnie nie zagłosował na Osawę, jak ma do wyboru kogokolwiek innego, więc oszczędźmy sobie. Following Kano's directions, A tu mogę actually dla Winroliego zrobić. Po spadoleniu, po spadoleniu przekazania okupu porywaczom, tak bardzo, że siostra porwanej przekazująca okup została porwana przez Achiego. Śledziliśmy cały dzień jakby porywaczy gangsterów, którzy robią jakieś 9000 IQ opcje, że kręcą się po całym mieście, przekazują sobie tylko tą walizkę z okupem w kółko, żeby chyba marnować czas policji, ciężko powiedzieć. Eee, I tak trochę bamblowaliśmy, bo nie jesteśmy dobrym gliniarzem. Eee, W nim streamie prawie spierdoliliśmy całą akcję, ale właśnie podniósł nas Jack Stanley, Security Assistance Officer from the US Embassy. Eee, To jest taki ekstra... Wiesz, jak oni mają te wszystkie Homeland Security, starty-taty, te wszystkie three-tierowe agencje robiące to samo, to mają tam taką służbę specjalną do właśnie ochrony dyplomatów i Jack Stanley jest z tego i właśnie stwierdził: okej, Kano, dzwonię do twojego szefa, to jesteś moim przydupasem, wykonujesz moje rozkazy i właśnie się dowiemy, jaki nas Buddy Cop przyszłość czeka, ale zdaje się, że Stanley jest bardziej na tropie tego międzynarodowego syndykatu odpowiedzialnego za porwanie i no, jakieś tu ma plany. Following Kano's directions, Stanley drove towards the crime syndicate's hangout. There was a good chance that this was where Maria was being held. Traffic was practically non-existent, and they made good time. Podoba mi się, że tutaj dwa pasy dosłownie zajebane samochodami, ale wiecie, to jest Tokio, to nasze standardy, to traffic practically non-existent. They cruised down Miya Masuzaka, then past the train station towards Dogenzaka. All the while, the two men stared out the windshield, neither inclined to make conversation. They arrived at the Shinsencho intersection. Take a ride there, Kano said. You nervous? Stanley asked as he made the turn. His own tone was calm and level. Kano gave no reply. If this syndicate really was holding Maria hostage up ahead, he and Stanley might wind up putting her in danger by showing up there. Carlos, nie dość, że wróciliśmy do agenta Smitha, to idealnie przegapiłeś UFC Pride cameo. Cameo jeszcze będzie, przynajmniej w plotline Tamy, bo tam gdzie pamiętałem, ale tu było pierwsze pojawienie się i lore drop, więc obawiam się, że będziesz musiał potem na wodzie obejrzeć, bo to się zdarzyło, a ci nie powiem, ale jest szansa, że jeszcze dzisiaj znowu na nią wpadniemy. Nie pamiętam, która to była zawodniczka, jakby IRL jak się nazywała, musiałbym sprawdzić, ale jest cameo. He and Stanley might wind up putting her in danger by showing up there. If it came down to it, Kano wondered, could he count on the man next to him taking the hostage's safety into account? He doubted it, but there was nothing he could do about that now. They arrived at the syndicate's hangout sooner than Kano had anticipated. It was the multi-tenant building in Tomigaya, southwest of Yoyogi Park. The ratty building looked like it might come crashing down at any minute. The Black Lodge sign out front looked deliberately ominous. Kano knew the place as a bar frequented by expats from various countries, as well as a hotbed of criminal activity. I'll take point, Stanley asked. You back me up. Nie wiem, kto tu... Smigu, bo ty byłeś w Japonii. Czy to jest normalne mieć takie szafki basenowe w wejściu do baru, które jest w piwnicy? Może to jest jakiś nie wiem, multi-use building, ale jakiś dziwny lore, kurczę. He pulled a handgun from his suit pocket. It was a compact Glock, a model frequently used by the FBI CIA. A okej, czy po prostu taki generyczny coin locker, żeby zmonetyzować korytarz w budynku. To robi sens. Glock 17. A semi-automatic pistol developed in Austria for police and military use. Notable for its incorporation of large amounts of polymer, plastic, in its design. A certain Hollywood film included a line of dialogue claiming that the Glock would not show up on airport X-ray machines. But since the gun barrel itself is made of metal, this is assuredly not true. FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. An American investigative bureau established by the US Department of Justice in 1908 has authority in matters involving crimes that cross state lines, as well as threats to public order such as espionage and terrorism. Generally speaking, the FBI conducts its activities within the United States. Central Intelligence Agency, one of the principal agencies of the US intelligence community, reporting to the Director of National Intelligence. Possessing considerable budgetary resources and a vast network of highly trained personnel, the CIA carries out intelligence gathering and covert operations primarily overseas. In recent years, the organization has been devoting major efforts to counterterrorism. Kano drew his own gun, and the two cautiously made their way inside. They immediately heard some sort of fracas from beyond the wooden door at the far end of the hall. Please don't let this be what I think it is, Kano thought to himself. Sweat bled on his hands as he gripped his gun tighter. He heard the sound of glass shattering. Then came the sound of something heavy falling to the floor. Maria. Ignoring Stanley's previous order, Kano rushed ahead, kicked down the door and stepped inside. Koledzy, wiemy już jak się kończy, kiedy Kano wpada na świetny plan, żeby nie słuchać się rozkazu mądrzejszych od siebie ludzi. He walked right into a massacre. There were nearly a dozen bodies sprawled out across the floor. He thought he recognized them all. The men who'd participated in the repeated attaché case handoffs. Each appeared to have been stabbed to death. Had these guys all turned at each other? No, that couldn't have been the case. None of the victims was holding a knife. Ta gra ma mocne jakby skoki tonalne all the time. To jest część jakby uroku. Masz ekstremalnie właśnie goofy plotliny, masz techno-thriller i masz dosłownie Resident Evil w fryse. I parę jeszcze innych flavorów. Which meant that whoever had killed them must still be hiding nearby. No sooner had Kano come to this conclusion than he heard a muffled cry behind him. Stanley! The American was sprawled on the floor, face down. Kano rushed over and knelt beside him. Stanley was dead, stabbed through the back. Without an instant's hesitation, Kano stood up again, gun at the ready. He scanned his surroundings, but there was no sign of the killer. But that was impossible. Stanley had been killed mere moments ago. Someone had to be here somewhere. Out of nowhere, he felt someone press the tip of a knife into his neck from behind, right at the base of his skull. How? He hadn't noticed anyone coming up on him. There wasn't even anyone else around. Nobody but the corpses scattered across the floor. Wait, the corpses? Apparently so, Carlosie, apparently so. Wait, the corpses? Kano hadn't checked them. Hadn't checked to make sure they were all really dead. With his last thought, he realized that had been his fatal mistake. No świetnie nam dzisiaj idzie, chłopaki. Prawdziwy real gamer moment. Mamy dwa badendy, które po prostu musimy na twardo u Kano oraz Tamy, to na twardo musimy zmienić timeline gdzieś indziej. U Minorikały i Yachiego musimy znaleźć hyperlink gdzieś, gdzie go jeszcze nie było. Jest szansa, że któryś z tych wyborów, które podjęliśmy, jest ten, czego potrzebujemy do zmiany timeline'u. Nic mi się nie rzuca bardzo w oczy jako taki obvious divergence, chociaż może być szansa typu na przykład, że nie wiem, że może byście się szybciej rozstali z Miku, to może by szybciej trafiła do sklepu i w ten sposób blokujemy Tamę. Ale to jest na tyle zgadywanie, że wydaje mi się, że muszę zarządzić, że zobaczmy, czy u Osały coś się nie odblokuje, bo to mi się wydaje prawdopodobniejsze niż któryś z dotychczasowych wyborów. Na początku zobaczmy, czy sumary. Ogólnie bardzo szybkie sumary. Dr. Kenji Osawa jest od dzisiaj nawet nie szantażowany, ale jakby skolautowany na mailu przez Edwarda Snowdena, że jego firma farmaceutyczna robiła Resident Evil wirus. Tak, pierwszy raz odpalamy Kenjiego dzisiaj. Resztę tak liznęliśmy po trochu wszystkich. Że jakieś Resident Evil testy kliniczne odpala w Afryce i trochę zbrodnie wojenne. Porwali mu córkę, potem Achi porwał jego drugą córkę. Jakieś są trochę spiski wewnątrz Big Farmy, które on próbuje rozgryźć. I detektywi w jego domu, którzy siedzą, bo tam właśnie kidnapping case, przewodnik przez japońskiego Colombo, który zresztą słusznie bardzo podejrzewa, że Kenji ma jakieś Resident Evil sekrety i próbuje go pokurwić, żeby się sypnął. A poza tym była zapchana toaleta, to też był duży problem. No jest taka trochę drama, że chciał tam odejść, czy myślał, czy nie odejść z tej Big Farmy do amerykańskiej firmy, ale tak jest trochę polityczne, bo jego żona jest tam, wiecie, córką dyrektora tej Big Farmy i ktoś zapkał kibel, wyrzucając jego bilet lotniczy i trochę z tymi testami klinicznymi Resident Evil zbrodniami jest lipa, bo w teorii bez jego odcisku palca nikt nie powinien mieć dostępu do Resident Evil wirusa, ale apparently miał, no i takie, no tu wiecie, intrygi. I don't deserve to be forgiven for what I've done. We may have both done the same thing, but my motives, those were different. And so, I don't regret what I did. And yet, if someone were to ask if there was some small part of me that wanted to see the results of my research, I could not deny it. Osawa grabbed his shoes from the entryway, then headed for the back door. He didn't want the detectives in his living room to know he was going to meet with Makina. That pest Kajiwara was nowhere in sight. Kajiwara to był japoński Colombo. Makino to jest jakby big dyrektor Big Farmy. Tateno to jest jego prawa ręka w tej Big Farmie. Now was his chance to slip away. Gotcha. Speak of the devil. Kajiwara had snuck up behind him. Are you going out? The detective asked. No. I was just, Asawa felt something inside his shoe. Glancing down, he saw a rubber duck stuffed inside it. Is this your doing? I laid a booby trap. Or rather, a ducky trap. Booby trap. Originally, a type of lethal trap used during wartime to catch clumsy, unwary soldiers. Boobies. In modern parlance, however, the term frequently signifies a harmless prank, such as setting a blackboard eraser atop a classroom door so that it falls onto the head of whoever opens the door. Fuko Kakimoto, nasze cameo. Dziękuję za lore drop. Kajiwara beamed with satisfaction. You know, you look like a great scholar, Osawa said. Indeed, sir. I am a grown man with a youthful heart. I leave it to Kajiwara to yet again miss the point entirely. With a sigh, Osawa tossed the duck at him. Kajiwara caught it nimbly in one hand and stuffed it right into his pocket. I won't tell you that you aren't allowed to leave, sir. All I ask is that you tell me where you've been and where you plan on going. My work is highly confidential. I'm not at liberty to discuss just anything about. Please try to work with me on this, sir, Kajiwara interrupted. He leaned in uncomfortably close. Do you recall what I said before? About how I'd appreciate if you didn't keep secrets from me? Osawa hesitated, inwardly debating how much he should share. Słuchajcie. Japoński Colombo jest potężny. Możliwe, że potężniejszy od Kenji'ego Osawy. Ale z drugiej strony jesteśmy w środku dosłownego Resident Evil spisku z wypuszczaniem wirusu w Afryce z 90% śmiertelnością w ciągu godzin. Co może nie jest tym, co byśmy chcieli, żeby gliniarze nam jakby ujawniali, więc no więc właśnie, koledzy, jak próbujemy play it cool, czy jednak to jest japoński Colombo i jakby przegranie z nim jest inevitable. Wasze głosy, wasza decyzja. Tak, ten typ, który ma kaszkę w bucie, to jest nasz protagonista Kenji Osawa, ojciec porwanych. I no on w teorii nie jest odpowiedzialny za jakby zbrodnie wojenne, to jakby to jest wirus, nad którym on pracuje, znaczy szczepionką tego wirusa. I to właśnie się tak sypnęło, że za jego plecami firma zrobiła jakieś nielegalne testy kliniczne na ludziach i trochę Resident Evil shit. A Mr. Creepy Face to jest właśnie pan Kajiwara, czyli japoński Colombo. Zresztą jego metodologię właśnie widzisz, że po prostu próbuje wytrącić nas z równowagi, żebyśmy się sypnęli. Nie, no idziemy tylko na szluga, Colombo. Chillera, lubisz mentole? Kajiwara flushed an awkward smile. No, that's odd. I didn't think you smoke, Mr. Osawa. O, snap! On nas obserwował cały dzień. Wiesz, że nie palimy szlugów. I'm getting them for Ai. Ai to jest nasza żona. I've never seen your wife smoke either, sir. And besides... Kajiwara leaned in closer to him. Your wife isn't even home right now, is she? This wasn't going as Osawa had hoped. Evidently, he wasn't a very good liar. Even so, he decided to double down. Alright, fine. It was actually Mr. Tanaka who asked me to get them. Oh, now that's surprising. Is that the sort of thing he'd ask of you, Mr. Osawa? Kajiwara was genuinely gifted at getting on one's nerves. Osawa barely contained an urge to punch the detective right in the face. Well, no matter, I suppose, Kajiwara went on at last. Just try not to wander too far. Oh, and also, he produced something that looked like a small transceiver from inside his coat. Please, take this with you. What the heck is this? It's a bug tracker, sir. It'll beep in response to a nearby listening device. I don't need this. He pushed Kajiwara's hand aside, and the bug tracker fell to the floor. Mr. Osawa, you mustn't underestimate the lengths to which these kidnappers might go. For once, the detective's face was all seriousness. Alright, fine. Osawa snatched up the device and headed out the door. Makino's car was parked out front. The driver stood alongside it. Osawa exchanged a wordless greeting with him, then got into the bag. He found Makino reclining in one of the luxurious leather seats. Znaczy, no jeździ BMW... To chyba jest ten zły rodzaj dyrektora wielkich korporacji, robiący Resident Evil eksperymenty. Now then, Makino said. What did you want to ask me about? Lighting a cigar, he glanced sidelong at Osawa. I was hoping you could explain the situation to me, sir. Which situation would that be? So, he was still going to beat around the bush. Even now. Osawa suppressed an urge to shout at him. Are you the one who let the antiviral out of the lab, sir? Yes, that was me. Makino didn't bat an eyelid. So why had he been so coy a few moments earlier? But how? The fingerprint authentication system is almost unbreakable. Getting access to the storage area would... He trailed off as a thought suddenly occurred to him. It was not strictly true that the fingerprint authentication was the only means of entry. Osawa and Tanaka had both set up passwords as a failsafe in case an injured fingertip somehow prevented them from operating the scanner properly. But these passwords were 10-character alphanumeric strings. No one could just haphazardly fumble their way in. Could Makino have sent a request to the electronic locks manufacturer and asked them to unlock it then? No. That required the approval of 6 board members, and Osawa was one of those 6 people. There really seemed to be no way of getting in without leaving any trace. You're absolutely right, of course, Makino said with a grin, as if reading his thought. 60 dupa 237, obawiam się, że to będzie Ayaka Miki, czekaj, A, K, A, M, I, K, I, Ayaka Miki i no i jedna liczba zostaje. Ayaka Miki i ASCII znaczek serduszka. To moim zdaniem jest najbardziej on-brand dla Kenji'ego Osawy. I thought... You're absolutely right, of course, Makino said with a grin, as if reading his thought. I couldn't gain access to the lab without you and Tanaka. But I didn't have to. He exhaled a large plume of smoke. You remember when we released the samples for animal testing? No, it couldn't be. Osawa broke in a sweat. Ah, but it could, Makino said. I had them divert some of the samples intended for animal testing. Naturally, I didn't leave any record of anything being taken from the lab. Osawa bit his lip hard. He couldn't help but feel betrayed by his company. But why? Makino left out the nasal, one-note chuckle. You don't seem to grasp just how valuable this thing really is. What do you mean by that, sir? Makino lowered his voice. There is a major world power out there that has already weaponized the UA virus. For a moment, Osawa thought this was just a sick joke, but the look on Makino's face told him otherwise. I've been informed that it was recently used on a military installation in the Middle East. Within 12 hours of dispersal, there were at least 800 casualties. If you include civilians, the number jumps to over 2,000. Any evidence of the disease agent and the bomb that delivered it has, of course, been covered up. Osawa listened in amazement. His outrage that any government would commit such an atrocity not quite suppressing his excitement at discovering that the virus could be propagated by explosive means. He felt a flash of guilt at his own fascination. The antiviral you created, Osawa, has the potential to render this weapon useless. Right now, Okoshi Pharmaceutical possesses the sole means to combat UA. Makino's lips curled into a boastful grin. Any number of countries would love to get their hands on it. The major power in question has offered an unprecedented sum. And that's hardly a surprise. Having a monopoly on the antiviral makes the weapon itself that much more valuable. To Osawa, it was a glimpse into another terrifying world, one he had barely imagined previously. And so, he wanted to get human testing over with as soon as possible. Is that it? He spat. Makino shrugged. I explained full well to the locals what the risks of experimentation were, and they were paid in accordance with said risks. They willingly consented to infection with the UA virus. Sophistry, Osawa huffed. Nothing more. They used money to deceive a bunch of poor farmers. Come on, Osawa. Who's being disingenuous now? Makino eyed him with contempt and let out another puff of smoke. I know you, Osawa. And I know you're not really concerned for some bunch of hick farmers. All you care about is your research. The thing that's really nagging you right now is that someone went ahead and did the final clinicals without you. Oh, spare me ridiculous, sir. As a virologist, I have a moral duty to... To what? Makino barked. Go to the media with this? Do you have any idea how much money the company has thrown at your lab to keep it up and running? Osawa's lab has incurred expenses of roughly 30 billion yen in developing the antiviral medication. Okoshi Pharmaceutical spends approximately 200 billion yen per year on research and development. Osawa's work is the single most costly element of that budget. Osawa gaped. I do appreciate all the company has done for me, sir. He spoke so quietly that his voice was nearly inaudible. In any event, Makino said, now that you know about the human testing, I can't let you go to America. How do you know about that? He'd insisted that Aki keep his planned relocation a secret. But apparently, she told her father regardless. If you insist on making the move anyway, I'll use any means necessary to stop you. Makino regarded Osawa with a bloodshot gaze. To co, Winroli, tak swoją drogą dalej podtrzymujesz tezę, że Kenji Osawa plotline jest back on Goofy track? Any means necessary? Osawa swallowed the lump in his throat. Sir, you don't mean that my daughter's kidnapping was... Don't be ridiculous, Makino said before Osawa could finish. Of course that wasn't me. Nevertheless, I'll do what I must to keep you in line. Remember that. Understood, sir. I'll turn down the US job offer. Osawa heard his own voice like the thin drone of a tiny insect. He felt utterly powerless. I can't simply take your word on that, Makina said. Do it now. I want to hear you do it myself. He jutted his jaw toward the phone in the backseat console. Moment, myślałem o Winrolim i z czego nasz wybór dotyczy? Coś mi się nie zgadza. Że okej. Czy możemy zadzwonić do Ameryki i powiedzieć słuchajcie ziomki, głupia sprawa, pies mi pracę domową, odrzucam was. Czy jednak stalujemy trochę, póki możemy, bo no mimo wszystko trochę evil dyrektor palący cygara w BMW odpierdala Resident Evil spiski w Afryce, więc chyba, że jakoś tutaj byśmy to, wiecie, grali i czary-mary. No mamy tutaj sytuację patową. Więc jeśli ktoś tutaj jeszcze jest, to zachęcałbym do chyba Winroli. Winroli zachęcam do, że tak powiem, rozwiązania remisu. Swoją drogą Tewery bardzo polecam w wolnej chwili pierwszą godzinkę streama nadrobić, bo kurczę, działa się w tym rozdziale. Więc dobrze. Gramy według zasad. Alright, Sawa said. He had no choice but to fall in line. It would be around 10 p.m. local time for the American firm. He decided to call his contact's personal phone. The headhunter was shocked to hear that Osawa wanted to decline the position. When he pressed for the reasons behind the decision, Osawa hung up. Visibly relieved, Makino lit up a fresh cigar. Sir, there's one thing I don't understand. And what's that? Osawa's head was feeling fuzzy. The smoke inside the vehicle had gotten extremely thick. If someone has this top secret information, why wouldn't they threaten the company as a whole? Why send those emails to me, personally? I'm not sure. There's an internal investigation already underway. We'll find the source of the leaks soon enough. At this point, though, Sawa wasn't sure knowing who originally leaked the info Mother Masha told to him. If you'll beg my pardon then, sir, Sawa said. He put his hand on the door handle. A sudden, high-pitched chirp sounded from his pocket. The backtracker Kajiwara had given him had picked up a signal. Is that your cell? Makina asked. Oh yes, that's mine. He hurriedly hopped out of the car and reached into his pocket. Is everything alright, sir? The driver was still waiting outside the car. He leaned toward Osawa, looking concerned. Was it you? Osawa stepped close to the driver. Huh? Did you send me those emails? What? What are we talking about, sir? Don't play dumb with me, Osawa said. You're the only person who could have planted a listening device on a company car. Listening device? The driver raised an eyebrow in confusion. What are you after? Sir, what are we talking about? Who told you to do it? Tell me. The driver fled back into the car. Osawa clutched the backtracker hard as he watched the vehicle pull away. He went back to his house, still gripped by confusion, to find Ai waiting in the entryway. She must have gotten home while he was out. "You were with my father, weren't you?" She sneered at Osawa as he slipped off his shoes. "Yes, I was," he replied. "And it's over." "What's over?" She knows damn well what. He struggled to contain his irritation. "America. I'm not going," he huffed. "Oh, really? Well, that is good news." She sounded sincerely pleased. Maybe a little more pleased than Osawa cared for. "I need to go finish up some work things," he mumbled. He hurried to his study, up on the second floor. Oj, coś czuję, że ważne zawodowe sprawy to słuchanie J-popu i Kamiki. He threw himself down in front of his computer. There hadn't been any progress on the investigation, as usual. Just how long was this all going to go on for? Were all kidnapping cases this drawn out? Kidnapping cases. A specialized victim support team belonging to the Special Criminal Investigation Unit has been deployed at Osawa's house. The members of this team are all specialists who have received training in such skills as negotiation, high-speed motorcycle and automobile driving, running phone traces, special communications, and phone records acquisition. Osawa was growing more and more uneasy. He could barely contain himself at this point. Wasn't there something, anything, that he could do? He glanced over at his monitor. That's an idea. He could look up kidnapping investigations on the internet. That might give him some insight into the current situation. Yep, idziemy na WebMD, na kurwa Quora.com. Idziemy na pierdolone WikiHow, dowiedzieć się, co robić w sytuacjach porwania, zamiast słuchać jebanych gliniarzy w twoim domu. Kidnapping, police investigations, hostages. He typed the 3 keywords into the search field. The engine pulled up over 100,000 hits. He scanned the beginnings of the list for anything that might be useful. One of the site links caught his eye. How the police do it. It looked like a page containing information on various types of police cases. He clicked on the link for the kidnapping cases and began to read. Even if the hostage wound up safe in the end, the site informed him the police lost face if the culprit got away. And if the hostage were killed and the kidnapper evaded capture, the media would have a field day. This made apprehending the suspect an absolute necessity. Even if a person's life was on the line, when it came to a kidnapping case, the police prioritized making the arrest. Taking his hand off the mouse, Osawa sat back in thought. He wasn't going to be able to relax till he heard Maria's voice again. But if the police prioritized arresting the suspect, why were they just letting things stay in limbo now? Didn't they have the crooks under surveillance? Wiesz co, no pojebana japońska policja, że woli zgarnąć przestępcę niż uratować zakładnika. Polska policja i tak nie zrobi niczego, a potem odpali granatnik na komendzie, więc... Didn't they have crooks under surveillance? He couldn't wrap his head around that. The internet hadn't been able to give him the info he'd hoped for after all. Unable to do anything for Maria, but wait, he turned his thoughts to how his opportunity to transfer to the US had passed him by. The research facilities in America would have been top tier. Some part of him still couldn't quite accept what had happened. He stole a quick look back at the door, then surfed to the Ayakamiki fan community for people 40 and over. Fuck yeah, J-pop time! W Inroli tu jest taki lore, że Kenji Osawa jest kompletnym autystą, takim nie lubię rozmawiać z ludźmi, bo tracę cenny czas, który mógłbym spędzić na uczeniu się o wirusach, ale jest fucking gunnerem na J-popowe pioseneczki dla nastolatek Ai Kamiki. Whenever something was waiting on his mind, posting to these forums seemed to turn his mood back around. He knew that now wasn't really the time to be doing this, but he needed to do something to calm and quiet his mind. He started a new forum topic. In the title field, he wrote, Ayakamiki expanding into the US. With Ayakamiki still at the height of her popularity, does anyone think it would be exciting if she ventured into the American market? I know I would. She's not the sort of artist who deserves to be confined to Japan. She should be recording at an American studio, staffed by the industry's best. I'd love to see her career really take off over there. He wound up getting into a little back and forth with himself. Hopefully, he'd get a response from someone else soon. Tak, to jest prawdziwa piosenkarka. Jakby jest... Jedna jej piosenka jest licencjonowana dla tej gry jako taki, wiesz, anime opening, więc przez to się trochę przewija, że tam ringtony, a to plotline Kenjiego, a tak Photoshopu jakieś losowe billboardy na ulicy, to też Ayakamiki zastępują. A sudden shrill noise startled him so much that he nearly cried out. His heart fluttered like that of a young child who'd been caught in some prank. Realizing that the sound was coming from the backtracker, he pulled it from his pocket and took a few breaths to steady himself. Evidently, someone had backed his study as well. Tracker in hand, he walked toward the center of the room. What direction was the signal coming from? He tried heading toward the window. Here, maybe? Next, he headed over to his desk. Here too? The backtracker was picking up signals from all over the room. Had there been that many listening devices planted in here? Mr. Osawa? It's Kajiwara. Ah, perfect timing. Osawa hurried to let the detective into the study. The backtracker is picking up signals. Oh, yes, from all over the room. What should I do? Mr. Osawa, please calm down. As if that's even possible right now. It feels like there must be 10, no, maybe 100 listening devices in here. Kajiwara didn't miss a beat. Let me be honest with you. That backtracker is broken. What? Osawa was dumbfounded. Broken? But... this is the one I got from you, right? Well, yes. But mine isn't detecting anything. Kajiwara produced an identical backtracker from his pocket. And, as he said, it wasn't getting any signal. As I recall, Mr. Osawa, that one was dropped on the floor when I was trying to hand it to you. Ah, yes, that's right. That must have been when it broke, sir. Strength ebbed from Osawa's body. He didn't even have the mental energy to be angry anymore. He gave the tracker a whack with the palm of his hand, and the beeping stopped. Right, he said. What can I do for you? Kajiwara clapped his hands together, as if he'd just remembered something. Ah, right. We have a big problem. The toilet again? Osawa sighed. No, it's not that. It's something worse. Kajiwara's face turned grim. Something worse? To wygląda na fałszywy wybór, który, że tak powiem, chyba nie zmieni dużo, ale... Ale kto wie, a on może być tam spławiony Colombo i wiadomo, coś tam się w czasie rozjedzie. A coś... Czy to jest bejcik? Widzisz, Miglew, to może być bait. To może być taki bait, że się, wiesz, że samochód był faktycznie zbagowany, a tutaj bejcik. Albo może Kajiwara Kenji'ego baituje i taki też jakiś mastermind plan kręci, bo jednak Mind Gamesy to jest cały modus operandi Kajiwary. Did something happen to Maria? He needed to hear a detective out. What is it? Osawa asked. Go on, tell me. He did his best to remain composed. Well, you see, we ordered lunches for everyone, and it looked like there were 2 still left over, so I wound up eating them. There was an awkward pause. Osawa didn't have the foggiest idea of how to respond. My deepest apologies, sir. I ate the lunches intended for you and your wife. Kajiwara bowed profusely. I really do need to apologize. They were tonkatsu bento boxes, and they were delicious. The meat was so tender, and the butter so crisp. With each and every bite, the rich flavor just filled my mouth more and more. Osawa felt a blood vessel burst in his skull. Listen, you... Get your goddamn act together, or... He didn't get to finish that thought. Pathetic little gargle sounded from his stomach. Ah, see, Kajiwara said. You are hungry. He fussed sheepishly with his hair. At the talk of food, Osawa realized abruptly that he hadn't eaten anything since the night before. Shall I make something for you? The detective asked. This is all my fault, after all. You can cook? Osawa wasn't sure how thrilled he was with the idea of Kajiwara helping him. You mustn't judge people based on outward appearances, Mr. Osawa. Alright, fine, go ahead then. His newfound hunger was making it hard for him to think. It would certainly behoove him to eat something. He led Kajiwara to the kitchen. What's with that getup? Wearing an apron in the kitchen is a must, sir. Apron. The cartoon character printed on the apron Kajiwara is wearing is one of his own design. It is modeled after the MPD's mascot. His name is Pinpo-kun. Do zobaczenia, kolego, nie umrzyj tam na lekcjach francuskiego. Alas, it isn't while I'm naked. Naked? Oh, are you not familiar with the concept of the naked apron? Naked apron. The state of being entirely naked, save for an apron. A form of cosplay. The views from the front, rear and sides all offer a certain appeal, but caution must be advised. It might be difficult to stop arguing about which presents the loveliest side once the topic is raised. There are similar, more sexualized naked styles as well, such as the naked sock, the naked shoe, naked necktie, naked ribbon, naked scarf, naked collar, and so forth. I could demonstrate if you like. No, that's quite alright. Where did you get that apron anyway? It's mine, sir. Have you had it with you this whole time? Yes, in here. With a smile, Kajiwara pointed to his pocket. Of course. Osawa eased himself into a chair. His hunger was making him feel weak, and Kajiwara was making him feel like he was losing his mind. Oh, this is bad, the detective said. I need to whip something up for you fast. Something's definitely wrong if you don't even have a comeback. Osawa felt his anxiety mounting. Just what sort of food was this insufferable oaf going to make anyway? Probably nothing worth eating, was his bet. Oh, phew, phew, phew. Słuchajcie, czy dealujemy z tym? Czy dostajemy od japońskiego Colombo obiad, śniadanie i kolację? Czy jednak zagrożenie Naked Apron Style jest zbyt duże i próbujemy wyrobić kogoś innego i mieć interakcję społeczną z kimś, od kogo nie stajemy pierdolca? Jak przeszliśmy z 2000 martwych ludzi do Cooking Mama. Ej, witamy w 428 w Shibuya Scramble. Tyle mogę ci powiedzieć. Eee, to zdecydowanie ma specyficzny urok ta gra. For now, you just have to pray he wound up with something edible. Kajiwara appeared into the refrigerator. Goodness, you're remarkably understocked, he said. Let's see, could you please put these in the dinger, Mr. Osawa? Dinger. Name for the sound a microwave oven makes when it has finished heating your food. The microwave at my house doesn't really go ding when time reaches 0 though. It's more just a beep. But it doesn't make sense to call a microwave a beeper when that's already a word that refers to something else. Wyjaśnię od razu dla osób, które nie pamiętają lub nie były. W japońskim lorze beeper to jest... O mój Boże, nie pager policyjny, ale chyba radio policyjne. The detective handed Osawa some frozen lumps of rice. The dinger? What the heck is a dinger? The microwave oven, sir. Osawa stepped in front of the microwave. Unfortunately, he had no idea how to work the controls. You should thaw the rice out as soon as possible, Kajiwara told him. I'm actually not sure how to operate this thing. What? Detective gasped. You don't know how to use a microwave? Osawa could only nod in silent shame. It should be just as simple as turning the dial. Wait, which one? That one, sir. The one on the right. Osawa turned the dial, then crossed his arms with a satisfied grin. Mr. Osawa, you need to put the rice in first, before you do that. Well, then why didn't you say that? Osawa snapped. I've never worked in a kitchen in my life. Don't ask me to do things that are this difficult. Very well. I'll handle this from here. Why don't you get out the bowls and the chopsticks then, sir? I have no idea where the hell those are kept. Kajiwara let out a heavy sigh. Alright then. Please just sit and wait, sir, he said. And, here, take this. Kajiwara pulled out a sheet of bubble wrap from his pocket. Use your fingers to pop the bubbles. That should help you calm down. Too drained to argue, Osawa did as prompted, starting to pop his way along the sheet. Rather than calm him down though, it was making him incredibly cross. This felt more like a sort of ridiculous punishment. They say you can learn a lot about a household by looking in the fridge, you know. Kajiwara was cooking something in a frying pan. And so asked, "So what have you learned about mine?" I'd better not say, sir. You might take offense. Sawa snapped another bubble between his fingers. Ah, the rice has finished thawing. Kajiwara topped the steaming bowl of rice with the fried egg he'd whipped up in his pan. Then, as if it were an afterthought, he added some pickled vegetables. Here you are, sir. Your fried egg on rice is complete. One of Kajiwara's simple recipes. Others include his white spaghetti, which is simply spaghetti that's been flavored with butter, salt, and pepper after it's been boiled. Both are a bit too basic to be properly called cuisine, but it does take a certain skill to bring the best flavor out of the ingredients with such simple seasonings. Kajiwara grinned from ear to ear. Go ahead and eat it while it's still warm. Osawa received the bowl with a dubious look. You aren't very good at cooking, are you? He said. All you had in your refrigerator were eggs and pickled vegetables, sir. I assure you it's quite delicious. I recommend breaking the yolk and mixing it all together. Reluctantly, Osawa brought a bite into his mouth. That's good. The words came out almost unbidden. Isn't it just? Egg yolk and pickled vegetables pair quite well. Osawa couldn't help but stuff his face, slipping into a rapturous daze as he did. The more he ate, the more it stirred his appetite. I had no idea fried eggs could be this delicious. I know you probably have a long ordeal still ahead of you, sir. But please, keep your chin up and hang in there. Kajiwara gave Osawa an amiable smile. Ah, that's right, he continued. And for dessert, we have bananas. No, thank you. Kajiwara grimaced as Osawa held up a hand in refusal. Right then. When you're finished eating, would you please wash the bowl? Me? To wash dishes? Osawa exclaimed in surprise, sounding like a petulant child. If someone else cooks for you, you should do the cleaning up. It's only polite. Fine, okay. While Osawa was doing the dishes, the bug detector went off again. Director, if you have a moment. Tanaka poked his head into the kitchen. I've got something urgent to discuss with you. Czy nasza prawa ręka Tanaka, z którą się ze wszystkiego zwierzamy, mógł mieć na sobie buga? Jest w pokoju też Colombo, który ma swój bug tracker, więc w każdym razie mamy 3 keepouty i 2 bodendy. Nic się mega nie rzuca w oczy jako obvious zmiana do zrobienia. Coś tak luźno pamiętam, że tutaj u Kenjiego to jest tych decyzji chyba to, czy powiemy dyrektorowi, że rzucam Amerykę, to chyba tam coś zmieniało właśnie w timeline'ie komuś, coś z tym backtrackerem, może gotowanko, a może nie. Bardzo już nie pamiętam, że ktoś z decyzji co zmieniała, bo nie, w tej godzinie też byłem utknięty w moim prawdziwym playthrough. Ale mam taką teorię, że może gdy pan Minorikawa nie dostał w pierdolu, to byśmy... Tak, żona Osały miała pluskwę też, to prawda, więc No, jakiś spisek w domu, Osały tutaj na pewno z tymi bagami jest. Mam taką teorię, to nie jest coś, co jakby dobrze pamiętam, ale tak teraz mi się wydaje na chłopski rozum, że jakbyśmy może nie wdali się w bójkę z Miku, jakby nie zabrali jej czasu na odstawienie nas na prezentację, to może ona wtedy szybciej pójdzie do Lombardu. Albo to się uda, a jak nie, to będziemy kombinowali. Co może naprawić, zwłaszcza, że dużo z tego, co mogliśmy, powiedzmy, utknąć na tych keepoutach, to, że wiecie, że nie to, że coś się meaningful zmieni w wydarzeniach, tylko, że jakiś dialog będzie inny i tam będzie ten hyperlink wspomniany, żeby do kogoś innego skoczyć, od Kenjiego na przykład. Więc co jeśli Midorikawa nie wda się w bójkę z czempionem baru Pride, tylko szybciej zakończy encounter. Sorry. He bowed his head in apology. He was in too much of a hurry to get caught up in an argument now. But the girl didn't let go. Instead, she tightened her grip. Look, I'm sorry for not looking where I was going. Minrika could barely croak out his apology. Oh, fine. I let it slide this once, the girl said. She relaxed her hold with a scowl. Wait, hold on, she murmured. She stared good and hard at Minorikawa's face. Hey, you're Mr. Minorikawa! Nie mogę przywijać w dół, czyli jeszcze scena jest inna. Surprised? Minorikawa gave her another look. Miku? Yeah! Wow, so you do remember me! She smiled with delight, apparently forgetting that she'd just been wringing his neck. Wow, how long's it been? She asked. About 5 years, I think. You still doing your bonsai stuff? Nah, she replied. I gave it up. Miku had been Japan's bonsai champion back when she was in middle school. Bonsai. The mention of bonsai likely calls to mind elderly hobbyists. But recently, the art is attracting more young people, as are other aspects of Japanese style interior design. Varieties of cherry and maple, smaller than normal bonsai, are becoming popular with practitioners. These are fruit-bearing trees, such as plum leaf apple. There are even spherical balls of soil covered in moss, shaped to look like cute little miniature planets, with plants growing over their surface. One day, local delinquents had vandalized dozens of Miku's bonsai pieces. Minorikawa had met her when he interviewed her about the incident. I want to get strong, she had said. Strong enough to beat those guys up. And so, Minorikawa had introduced Miku to an acquaintance of his, who ran a martial arts dojo. Well, you've sure gotten strong, alright, Minorikawa said. That's the sort of girl I am. Miku handed him a flyer. It read, Ladies Mixed Martial Arts Pub Bride. Ciekawe, że mimo, że ten tekst się w dużej mierze powtarza, to, że te hiperlinki są jednak inne. Są w tym puffie, a nie w tamtym. A show pub that began as a side venture for a group of female mixed martial arts fighters who were facing financial difficulties. There is an octagonal ring inside the pub, and the rules state that anything goes between the young women who fight inside. Customers are able to take in the fights while enjoying their drinks. Present this flyer for a free drink. It's a place where you can watch girls fight in the ring while you have some drinks, Miku said. That sounds pretty fun, actually. Minorikawa could feel himself being pulled in all the wrong directions by the prospect. You should come see one of my matches sometime. I'm the reigning champion. Miku beamed with pride. Wait, you're the champion? Yikes. Good thing I apologized when I did. In that case, I'll definitely have to swing by sometime soon. Right now, I'm in sort of a hurry though. Oh sure, Miku said. Catch you later, then. She headed into the shop, as Minurikawa rushed off towards the sales demo. Oh, snap! Chyba dosłownie to się działo przed sklepem wszystko ze stojenów. Tylko nikt nie patrzy, co się dzieje na ulicy w tle zdjęcia. A scenka minęła i już tutaj jest timeline jaki był. Jak widać. Tylko Utamy nie została Miku wciągnięta w podróż do Centergai. I'm afraid that's already been solved. What? You mean like all of it? Tewery, szybkie podsumowanie. Tama miał genialny pomysł, że może wszystkie butelki Burnhammer są rozjebane, ale to wygląda jak główny sklep wszystko ze stojenów. Więc co jeśli po prostu znajdziemy sklep tylko ze stojenów i kupimy więcej Burning Hammera? Zrobiliśmy to. Plan prawie działał, tylko że skrzynka była na rezerwacji. What? You mean like all of it? Nobody in the right mind could possibly want all of this. Yes, all of it, I'm afraid. Well, I'm not going to roll over that easily. Whether I earn that extra 20,000 or not hinges on whether I can get this stuff. Please, you've got to help me out. I'm afraid it's out of my hands. And could you get in touch with the buyer? Tell them I'm willing to negotiate. I suppose that wouldn't be an issue, but... Actually, would you mind waiting for just a moment? She said she'd be by ASAP. Even as I'm speaking with the sales clerk, a girl wearing a hoodie comes in. She's got a tiny frame and a doe-eyed face. Hey, I've come to pick up something I reserved, she says. This must be the customer the clerk was talking about. Please pardon my intrusion, but... Would you be willing to let me have these diet drinks? I bow extra deep, and my costume head wobbles all around. Wait, what? I'll pay you double what they're worth. No can do? I've never seen this brand before. I'm super curious about it. Surely you don't need this many, though? I do. I make my living with my body. This is about how much I'll need. Oh wow, the sales clerk interjects. What sort of work you do exactly? I'm a martial artist. I fight at a place called Bride. You might have heard of it. It's one of the more popular hotspots in Shibuya these days. Oh, I know the place, the sales clerk says, brimming with sudden excitement. That pub where they have cosplay martial arts competitions, right? Hold on, what are they talking about now? What's Bride? I've seriously never heard of the place. It's a nightlife spot where ladies cosplay as anime characters, but they fight for real. I've been wanting to check it out, but they've hit their membership cap, the sales clerk explains. At present, the exclusive Bride has already exceeded its allotted number of members, and it's not accepting new ones. Given the buzz about how both the costumes and the fights are really something to see, memberships that are auctioned off online memberships that auctioned off online command quite high prices. So then, you must be pretty strong, huh? He says to the girl. Well, I may not look it, but I'm the current champion. The girl proudly adopts a fighting stance. Will you accept the challenge from me? I ask. A challenge? If I win, you'll have to let me have all of this. The girl breaks into a confident smile. But do you have any idea who you're dealing with here? She asks. I intend to find out. Oh wow, the sales clerk exclaims. I have just got to see this. I'm glad to have him egging us on. Well, if you're that set on it, then sure, I accept your challenge. Sweet. We've established our terms. This burning hammer may yet be mine. The girl cracks her knuckles, clearly eager for a fight. I've gotta win this. Somehow or another, I have got to. I mean, I've got to be good at something. Facing off against this fighter is going to show me what I'm made of. I address my opponent. By challenge, I naturally mean... Słuchajcie, potrzebujemy tych 20 000 jadów. To jest bardzo ważne. I jesteśmy też przeciwko cameo zawodniczce Pride, z czempionem baru MMA Bright. To tak wiadomo, ale z drugiej strony było teasowane, że Tama ma trochę kung fu moce, bo rozjebała na czysto panię Nagishitę i trochę atomowy karalucha. Obie te sceny były dość komediowe, to prawda, ale wydaje mi się, że ta Nagashi to trochę implikowała, że to jest taki komedii zarzutka, że jednak ma jakieś kung fu skillsy. Więc, no więc moi drodzy, jest poll, jest pytanie. No mamy tutaj remis. Reszta sobie już poszła, więc chyba pozostanie remisem. To remis rozbije na korzyść Winroliego. Po pierwsze, bo jednak, że tak powiem, niech swoją newcomer przewagę ma jeszcze dzisiaj. A po drugie, że ponieważ tak TBH, ja nie czuję tutaj rhyming game'a, nie sądzę, żeby to było dobre rozwiązanie. To jakby wolę mieć, wiecie, bad ending, out of the way, zanim weźmiemy coś innego. Let's play a rhyming game. Huh? The girl says. She seems a bit put off by the suggestion. Yeah, I say. And if I win, you have to let me have all of these. A rhyming game? Really? Okay then. Really? Silly. Okay then. Glisten. Listen, I'm a martial artist. Artist? Oh, that's a tough one. Smartest. Glow. No, what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is I'm a fighter. Okay, fighter shouldn't be too hard. I can do this. Just have to not panic. Let's see. Writer. Haha. Okay. Scissors. What do you mean scissors? No. Wait. What the heck is going on? Crap. Nothing rhymes with scissors. That's an illegal move. I drop into a fighting stance. Okay then. Shall we fight? The girl grins back at me. Now you're talking. The name's Miku, by the way. Challenge accepted. Miku profesjonalistka ma zawsze rękawice w kieszeni. Miku and I march out of the shop. Out on the pavement, we stare each other down. So if you win, I'll let you buy the burning hammer, Miku says. If I win, I get to keep it, and you have to pay for it. Huh? Isn't that a little unfair? If you don't like it, then it's no fight, no deal. I don't have the time to rethink this. Alright. Ready whenever you are. Miku does a little brisk shadow boxing, throwing a repeated 1-2 combination. Shadow boxing, a training technique for boxing. Involves practicing strikes, guards, and evasions against an opponent who isn't actually there. Whoa, what's the deal? Something going on? It's a street fight! A number of people pass by, including a businessman, a couple, as well as some pretty gruff-looking fellows, and some of them stop to form a small crowd. Couple. Endo and Hitomi Osawa. They passed by while running away from some mysterious foreigners. Gruff-looking fellows. Asao Ozu and his underling Yutaro Sagawa, members of the Tenryugumi Yakuza Syndicate. The Tenryugumi operates a lending firm called Takarada Financing, and these two have been tasked with collecting outstanding debts. They've already collected from one client today. Next, they plan on grabbing lunch before heading off to find their next target. Te chłopaki nie były wymienione chyba z nazwiska do tej pory. Mogę się mylić, ale wydaje mi się, że to są ci dwaj gangole, którzy ścigają redaktora pana Minorikały. The sales demo has already started by now. I don't have time to goof around here. I watch as Miku starts up her footwork. Poof! A left jab. She's quick. I can see why she's the champion. Oh yeah! She immediately follows up the jab with a wide right hook. Hook, a type of punch, involves swinging the arm in a wide arc to strike the opponent from the side. In mixed martial arts bouts, it is common to see a fighter continue the momentum from a hook to catch the opponent by the arm, transitioning immediately into a takedown and a pin. I jerk aside at the last possible moment and deliver a little swat to Miku's shoulder. Whoa! She slips off balance and pitches forward. Oh wow! What was that? The crowd has started clamoring. Miku rights herself and gets back into a fighting stance. What the? How? She doesn't seem to know what just happened. Rawr! This time, I watch as she unleashes a kick with her left leg from a distance. On a reflex, I bring up my right hand and adopt a guarding stance. Gotcha! She calls out. It was a feint. There's a visceral whomp as the second kick connects, coming at me from a different angle. Whoa! What gives? My big mascot head serves to cushion the blow to the point that I barely feel it. Yeah! She proceeds to unleash a string of additional kicks with her left leg, trying to defeat my fuzzy armor. Eventually, I catch hold of her foot. Holding her off balance, I begin to walk her backward, making her hop awkwardly on one leg. Gah! A casual flip of my paw, and Miku goes whirling through the air. Ah! The crowd erupts into cheering and applause at the spectacle. Phew! You're tough. Who the heck are you? As you can see, I am a cat. A wry smile comes to Miku's face. To think a bright competitor would lose in a street fight. Guess it's time to go back to being an ordinary girl. Today is the day I retire. Ah, phew. Good match there. Miku clasps my hand firmly. But hey, I'm just glad that my last opponent was you. No na pewno bad end dla Mixed Martial Arts kiedykolwiek na świecie. Ale mamy 4 skrzynki Burning Hammera, to 4 skrzynki więcej niż 0. Hola hola, get dola. I hoist up the boxes of the diet drink. So, how does How much does this come to? I asked the sales clerk. He shakes his head. Oh, don't worry about payment. You've more than earned it with that spectacular display just now. That was really something. Heck, even I am shocked at what just happened. It's amazing what a little desperation will do for you. So that move you used, that was some Aiki Jujutsu, yeah? A traditional Japanese martial art that emphasizes learning to anticipate an opponent's first move and instantaneously counterattack. Skilled practitioners can toss and throw opponents with a simple touch. The art predates the development of the more pacifistic Aikido, and so some dangerous techniques still remain. Huh? Oh, I guess. I tilt my head non-committally. Come now, no need to be so humble. I'm a martial arts fanatic. I know my moves when I see him. Knickknack shop owner Taisei Yasuda does roughly 350 martial arts fights a year. He's particularly fond of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and is thinking about studying it himself. There's a dojo he's been eyeing, but he's rather timid and has thus far only waffled non-committally outside the entrance of the place. He can call it whatever he wants if he's letting me have the drinks for free. This is going to be a lifesaver. Is that all the shopping you'll be doing with us today? He asks. Actually, come to think of it, I do have one request, I say. Sure thing. Could you please not sell that necklace there? I promise I'll be back to buy it later. Sure, no problem. The sales clerk gives a deep bow. I did it. I managed to solve my burning hammer problem. Now I've just got to get back to the sales demo. Oh, that must be awfully heavy. Here, why don't you use the dolly? The sales clerk indicates the hand truck over in the corner. Oh, thanks so much. I load the pile of boxes onto the cart and rush back to the Nokane building. By now, the sales demo will be well underway. I need to get back as soon as I can. If there's nothing to buy, the customers are going to leave, and everything I've gone through will have been for nothing. Come on, Tama, you can do it. Just gotta hurry. I charge for the demo, pushing the dolly ahead of me like a battering ram. Oops! Sorry to keep you waiting! You're late! What the heck have you been doing? Mr. Nagishita practically throws himself at me. The weight must have been killing him. Standing behind him is a man I don't recognize. Minoru Minorikawa. Who is that guy? He doesn't look like a customer. Okay, Tama, just come with me for a minute. I follow Mr. Nagishita into the break room. Sorry I'm late. There was a whole bunch of stuff that happened. But look, I got the product back. I proudly open up one of the cardboard boxes. It's burning hammer. It really is. Nagishita clutches the box close, nuzzling it with his cheek. How's the demo going? I ask. I've got Cheer keeping them occupied with some magic tricks. I sneak a peek through the door and see Chiri guzzling an orange juice from a gigantic container, draining it in one go. Is that really a magic trick? If it buys us time, it's magic enough. Before long, the last of the juice is gone. Over in the corner of the stage, I see 6 more huge containers, all likewise empty. It's shocking to think that she may have drunk all 7 to those things dry. The audience erupts into sincere applause, like they've forgotten what they originally came here for. Chiri comes back to the break room, positively drenched in sweat. Ugh, I think I should have stuck to doing imitations for a little longer. No, that was fantastic, Chiri, Mr. Nagishita says, Just fantastic. Thanks to you, we've had enough time to get the burning hammer back. He bows profusely. Alright, now's the time for the main event. Chiri, go out there and guzzle down some burning hammer. Get yourself all drenched in sweat. Got it? Aye aye, boss. And Tama? Just, just go up there, smile all big and say, this helped me lose a bunch of weight too. Got it? Got it. Good, now then. And I gives the gestures to a man I hadn't noticed before, who has been watching quietly nearby. Of course, begging your pardon, miss. I'm a service rep from the rental shop, who proceeds to try to get me out of my mascot suit. Masamichi Fukuma, employee of Far East Costume Rentals. The only son of company president Shigemichi Fukuma. He is one of the few people who know what Shigemichi looks like, as his father is usually clad in a rabbit costume. Masamichi has harbored a strong dislike for both his father and the mascot costumes ever since the old man showed up at school on Parents' Day one year, dressed in his inevitable rabbit suit. Nonetheless, the son has acquiesced to his father's wishes, and someday he'll inherit the family business. Oh? That's odd. The rental guy tilts his head. What's the matter? Nagishita asks nervously. Yeah. This is a no-go. The rental guy pokes his finger at the back of my suit. This here zipper? It's all jammed up. It's going to take a long time to get this finger. What the hell? Mr. Nagishita clutches the sides of his head. The rental guy tries tugging at the costume from various angles, hoping to free up the zipper. But like he said, it's no use. Kto panu tak spierdolił? Dobre pytanie. A to pan Nagishita ten kostium zakładał. Ostatni raz, kiedy widzieliśmy suwak działający. Miau! The rental guy's eyes widen at the sudden sound of a cat's mewling. Was that you? He looks at me, confused. Did you hear a cat meowing? Yes. Was it you? No, not me. I'm as surprised as he is. Must be hearing things. Mr. Nagishita and Chiri don't seem to have heard anything. Ah! Nagishita is fuming. Just my luck. I finally find a cute model, and the crowd's never going to see her. Hey, boss, Chiri says. The customers are gonna leave if you keep them waiting much longer. What do we do? Want me to go out there and do some more impressions? Chiri calls repertoire of impressions. 1. A sea lion yawing. 2. A harbor seal hailing a cab. 3. A walrus eating sutras. 4. A fur seal who can't reach the itchy spot on its back. 5. A stellar sea lion taking a nap. No, we don't have any choice. Tama, you're just gonna have to go out there dressed like that. Are you sure? I ask. If those people go home, we're done for, he exclaims. Just get out there and get started. I'm counting on you too. Ladies, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. Chiri and I spring into action on this stage. But now, I'm proud to introduce to you the worldwide sensation that is Burning Hammer. Dzięki Breakhammerowi straciłem na wadze oraz posiadam zajebiste afro. Dobry take, zwłaszcza, że to są jakby stare babcie. To jakby taki hot middle-aged guy można nawet lepiej zadziała niż mała dziewczynka. The latest product from the West that has taken the diet world by storm. Every seat in the house is packed. That means there's about 40 people here. We only need to sell 5 bottles to each customer in order to sell out. I'm hit with a sudden jolt of motivation. Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary new diet drink works. Works its magic. Chiri begins. The plan is for me to describe how the drink works, and then Chiri will demonstrate it with a taste test. All eyes are fixed on us. I begin. For the first time in human history, you can drink a single bottle and lose a whole kilogram. Just drink and burn that excess weight away. Astonished gasps rise up from the crowd. Just take a look at this marvelous red liquid. Even looking at it makes you feel like you'll be shedding weight, right? Here's how Burning Hammer works. It activates the capsaicin found in chili peppers. Capsaicin, the primary spice component of chili peppers, said to be effective for improving blood flow and stimulating the burning of fat. Because it is a severe skin and eye irritant, it is also an ingredient in some forms of pepper spray for personal defense. I pause to take a deep breath before continuing. And rapidly breaks down the triglycerides responsible for causing obesity. Obesity. Though the term is frequently used in recent years to simply refer to the state of being overweight, obesity in the clinical sense is a medical condition involving interrelated health issues including excess body fat, hyperlipidemia, and hyperglycemia. Individuals suffering from obesity are at high risk of complications such as coronary heart disease, diabetes, and sleep apnea. Again, the crowd hums with excitement. This response is better than I could have hoped. We're off to a terrific start. And now, this young lady here will demonstrate Burning Hammer's effects before your very eyes. Chiri steps into the spotlight. Just wait till you see how much she sweats. Proof that the fat is being burnt right there on the spot. Chiri holds a bottle of Burning Hammer up high. Cheers, she says. As she opens the bottle, however, one of the women in the front row speaks up. Hold on. She's already sweating pretty hard. She's right. Chiri's drenched in sweat from head to toe. Another woman chimes in, suspicious. I'll let her juice drinking from earlier. That was all just to make her sweat like that, weren't it? All of a sudden, the crowd is in an uproar. No, not at all. Drinking Burning Hammer makes you sweat way more than this. I rush to towel off Chiri's sweat for her. Go on, hurry up. Drink it down. Chiri's face screws up unpleasantly as she gulps down the bottle. And the sweat doesn't come. Why isn't it working? I exclaim, the audience momentarily forgotten. Guess I've already sweated out too much. Chiri replies, unfazed. Well, why were you sweating so much? Look, you were taking forever at the 100-yen shop. The crowd shifts some uproar into riot. Did she just say 100-yen shop? Scowling customers begin to close in. No, that's not it. You've got it all wrong. Please just listen. Oh, we can see what's going on here. The situation has gotten out of our control. Look, this product is so valuable that the 100-yen shop is about the only way we could get it. Uh-oh. I think I just put my foot in it. The customers glare at me, their eyes bright with rage. Just a joke, bro. Just a joke, bro. Nic się nie wydaje mi się, że to był ważny wybór, więc... Zrobię, że... just kidding, that was just a joke. I just gotta play this off smooth. I mean, seriously. There's no way you'd find something this high quality in a 100-yen shop. Sweat is streaming down my brow. Really now? Says one woman in the crowd. How about we find out? She takes out her cell phone. I know someone who runs one of those stores. Oh wait, let's not be hasty now. Why? What's wrong? Oh, it's just... You don't need to go out of your way like that. You said you were joking, didn't you? So it shouldn't matter if I make the call, right? Oh, well... Ahem! I slip into a nervous coughing fit. I'm absolutely sweating bullets inside my catsuit now. Tama! Shouts Mr. Nagishita as he rushes out of the break room. What the heck are you doing? Abort! Abort! He howls. If you let these people know the truth about this stuff, they will never buy it. Uh-oh. Now you've done it. Cherry doesn't hesitate to point the finger at him. Her stare ferocious. Whoops! Realizing what he just blurted out, Mr. Yanagishita is aghast. Now there really is no saving this. The customers descend upon Mr. Nagishita, the wrath a terror to behold. So then, it is true. What the hell are you trying to pull? I can't believe you try to sell this crap for these prices. The front goes on the attack. Chiri and I force our way through the angry mob, hoping to find some way to calm these people down. Cursing and profanity fill the air. The shouts are accompanied by merciless, open-handed slaps. I get all jostled and tumble about. Then my mascot costume takes a bad beating. Finally, the storm passes. It's over. It's all over. Mr. Nagishita waves to the empty room. So, boss? About getting paid? Even Chiri seems hesitant to ask. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, obviously. Nagishita doesn't so much as look up. His shoulders slump further in defeat. I'll take payment in kind then, Chiri says. Mind if I take this burning hammer home with me? Sure, Nagishita says lifelessly. Go right ahead. Alright, I'll be off then. Later, Tana. Chiri picks up the cardboard boxes and heads out. Sir? Is the man from the rental place. I believe you still owe me for the costume rentals? Alright, how much was it again? Mr. Yanagishita rummages in his pocket. Well, given the severe damage, I'm afraid I'll have to add the full cost of the catsuit to your bill. Your total comes to 200,000 yen. What was yen? 200 yen? No, sir. 200,000. Sorry, I can't hear at all. I think I might have ruptured my eardrum. 200,000 yen, sir. Okay. Yanagishita takes all the cash he has in his wallet and holds it out reluctantly. That's only 20,000, sir. The rental guy furrows his brow. I'm afraid this won't cover it. I understand that, but I don't got no more than this. Don't got no more? Sir, please, you're not a child. Then give me a discount. Back it 20,000. Instead of the 200 you owe? You know I can do that, sir. But Mr. Nagishita refuses to back down. Ah, that's right. Insurance. I got insurance in the event the suit would not be damaged. No, you didn't. No, I did. You did not, sir. No, I did. Then where's your paperwork to prove it? Nagishita calmly claps a hand to his chest. Right here. The paperwork is here. Inside my heart. The rental guy clutches the sides of his head in exasperation. And believe me, I feel his pain. You know what, never mind. I'm going to leave this to my boss. Shigemichi Fukuma, president and owner of Far East Costume Rentals. Notable for the fact that he's usually wearing his favorite rabbit costume. To Shigemichi, his costumes are like his children. If he were to hear that one of his suits has been ruined, he would probably never forgive Nagishita, adding to the man's already considerable list of enemies. Turning his back on the ruins of the sales demo, he slams his way out of the room. Now it's just me and Mr. Nagishita. Please try not to get it. Please try not to let it get you down so much, sir. I say as cheerfully as I can muster. He's already down on the floor, a sobbing mess. You wouldn't know what it's like to feel so utterly hopeless. I think I might have an idea, sir. In fact, I'm sure of it. At this point, there's nothing more I can possibly do. He slumps forward, trembling like a willow tree. Things will turn around soon enough, I'm sure. You don't know me like I know me, he says. There's not going to be any turnaround. Not after this. Okay, now this little pity party is starting to piss me off. You know, if you think you're the only person who's had a run of bad luck, you are dead wrong. I wind up shouting the words louder than I intended. Mr. Nagishita whips his head back up. Yikes! Where did that come from? I need to tell you something. My pent-up emotions come surging to the surface. I have amnesia. Yanagishita's eyes go wide. What? I can't remember anything from before this morning. In short, amnesia. Amnesia can have a variety of causes. Psychogenic amnesia is caused by stress or psychological trauma, whereas in endogenous amnesia, a powerful blow to the head causes physical trauma to the brain. In the latter case, memories and other normal functions frequently return once the cranial nerves recover. O, wreszcie wiesz, to jest prawdziwa gra wideo. Yep. My name, how old I am, where I live, any of it. I would much rather be in your shoes, sir. Mr. Nagishita looks at me with a hint of disbelief. So, where did you get the name Tama, then? I thought of it when I saw the tamagoyaki in those lunchboxes. Aha. Tamagoyaki. Tama. I get it. He claps himself on the thighs, as if he's had some big eureka moment. But wait, how come you lost your memories? Well, I don't know for certain, obviously. I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure I took a hard blow to the head. When I came to, I was inside of a storehouse with a massive headache. A storehouse? A surge of vertigo washes through me as I recall waking up in that strange dim place. Jaka jest szansa, że Tama jest najszybszą legendą Yokohamy? Wiecie, zaczyna się robić grę wideo. Yeah, I had just gotten out of there where you flagged me down, sir. Huh, really? So, is it pretty unnerving then? Not knowing who you are? He sounds like he's taking me seriously now. Yeah, it sure is. But it's not going to do me any good to just fret over it. And besides, I've got a clue. What sort of clue? There's a necklace I saw at the knickknacks shop. The same place I found the burning hammer. Somehow, I know that it's important to me. And so you took this job so you could afford to buy it. I nod. Of course. Now that the job has ended in a total bust, I've lost my shot at getting it. Okay then. Mr. Nagishita removes his shoe, then yanks out the insole. This here really is the last of my money. He pulls out 20,000 yen, adds it to the other 20,000 from his wallet, and thrusts it all toward me. Here you go, he says. That includes the reimbursement for the burning hammer you picked up. I pluck up 2 of the 10,000 yen bills between my fingertips. I actually didn't have to pay for it, so the 20,000 we agreed upon is fine. But how about you, sir? Are you going to be okay? Like, after all this? Compared to your misfortunes, mine are nothing. They might send me up the creek without a paddle, but I'll bounce back somehow. I'm sure of it. And then, clutching his fist, Mr. Nagishita gets a far-off look in his eye. And then, one more time, I'm gonna go see a bride fight. My jaw nearly drops. Bride? Like the martial arts pub? Wait, you know about Bride? Man, I spent so much money at that place. Huh, it is a small world. Especially that Miko. I wonder how much she has made me spend. Miko, huh? I'm pretty sure I just accidentally forced her into retirement, but I decided to keep quiet on that front. He nods. To be honest, the reason I borrowed all that money was to pay my tabs at that place. And I had to borrow from some pretty shady sources too. I can't help but suspect that this poor guy got a real raw deal. Why don't you take that mascot costume with you? Huh? I mean, I don't really need it. No, I insist. Take it with my blessing. Sure. I'll be on my way then. Out in the hallway, I pass by the man I'd noticed earlier. The one I didn't recognize. Odd. Sales demo's over. I wonder why he's still here. I give him a faint nod, and he nods back before slipping into the demo room. I should keep my fingers crossed for the guy. At last, I'm back outside the building. I feel bad about not returning the casket to the man from the rental place. Still, I can't just walk around town wearing this thing. I'll stick out like a sore thumb. I figure it's best to just leave it behind. And then it dawns on me. Hold on! I still can't get this thing off. Moi drodzy, w tych okolicznościach już rozpierdalamy ten kwestią w pył, bo i tak tego Yanagishita nie opłaci. Czy jednak z tym dealujemy, bo bycie kotkiem daje nam śmieszne enkantery? Ja bym się nie chciał wtrącać w tę decyzję, bo Bo chyba wiem pewne rzeczy i nie chciałbym tutaj, wiecie, sugerować kierunku. Okej, jesteśmy kocimi lojalistami. It's not worth the struggle. Guess this cat's staying in the back. Figure I'll head to the knick-knack shop as is. A się zastanawiam. Akurat się zastanawiam, bo tam nie pamiętam, wiecie, pełnego timingu. Wiecie co? Jebać Wielki Święty Demokracji. Zdejmuję go. Nie pamiętam. Nie wiem, czy to się uda. Nie pamiętam, czy to był moment, kiedy się pozbywamy stroju Tamy, czy przyjdzie później. Ale jeśli to był moment, w którym się pozbywamy stroju Tamy, to face reveal po prostu będzie zbyt dobrym cliffhangerem na koniec streamu. Więc jak to się nie uda, to zmienimy od razu timeline. Szansa jest zbyt duża. It's time I skin this cat. The exact origin of the phrase "there's more than one way to skin a cat" is uncertain, and a matter of some dispute, though it appears to have arisen in the latter portion of the 19th century. It's hard to imagine why anyone would want to conjure up such a gruesome mental image. I need to get rid of this costume, whatever it takes. I take hold of the head in both hands and yank it upward as hard as I can. Oh? Please tell me I'm not just imagining things. The head feels a whole lot looser than it did before. A, bo jesteśmy 30 kopniaków od Miku. If I give it a good enough push, then maybe... Ah! It comes off! I did it. I slip out of the rest of the cat costume and gleefully abandon it as I head for the knick-knack shop. I w sekundzie, w której od czegokolwiek timeline'u znajdziemy hiperlink do Tamy, oficjalny face reveal. Kim był kotek przez cały ten czas? Co ma wspólnego z tym wszystkim innym? Czy już jest Resident Evil zombolem zainfikowanym UE wirusem? Ja wiem. Wy nie wiecie. Ale pewnie się domyślacie. Ale na pewno dowiemy się za tydzień. Kiedy to prawdopodobnie skończymy cały ten godzinowy rozdział, tak na oko patrząc. Więc na razie się z wami pożegnam. I do zobaczenia za tydzień.